This is Movies in Contemplation with Jarokk and...
Oh, am I talking to you?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hi, contemplators. My God.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. So sorry that we haven't been coming out with as much content like weekly as normal. Things have just been crazy.
Well, new jobs.
New jobs and totally different schedules. Like we've been working opposite schedules.
Yes.
So it's been really hard to not only spend time together, but podcast together.
Podcast together.
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
It's horrible.
But it's all right. We're back. We're gonna try to figure it out and see. But for the now, we're just.
And if the weather fucking gives up.
If the weather would
my job
fucking
happens to
be
part of the weather.
Yes, it's very weather
Best.
based. Yes. But we are back. We're doing a Cali pick. I picked The Duchess.
Yeah.
2008, starring Keira Knightley, Ray Fiennes. Let's see, I cannot see here. Dominic Cooper, amongst others.
Keira Knightley, Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
Charlotte Rampling and Dominic Cooper, Haley Atwell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are the mains, I think.
Yes, those are the mains, correct. And the wine, I really wish I had to go to the grocery store to get a wine, and I really didn't find much, but I ended up going with Sin Zin.
Ooh, the Sin Zin.
Yes, it is a 2017 Zinfandel.
Have we done this one?
No, God, don't tell me that we did.
I don't know. It doesn't matter if we did or didn't.
I know, but still, I always try to...
I know.
We always try to find something different every time.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah, at some point, there might be a couple couples, but I haven't... How is it?
It's not bad. Got like a bite.
It's very dry.
Yeah.
Very, very dry, for sure. There really wasn't... I think, like, the art just kind of reminded me of, like, the type of art that the Duke and the Duchess were probably... Sporting in their huge freaking...
House, mansion,
castle...
Yes.
Whatever you want to fucking call it. But next, we've got...
The handy-dandy Shakespearean notebook! Notebook.
Okay, I got Rascally Hollow-Eyed Bed Presser.
Oh, God.
I think we've gotten bed pressure before, but it's fine.
Wow.
Rascally, untrustworthy.
Oh.
Hollow-eyed, having sunken eyes like those of a cadaver.
Damn.
Bed presser, heavy, lazy person.
Oof.
There's
a lot of bed pressing in this film, I tell you.
Oh, hey. Hey-oh. This movie was based on a book by Amanda Foreman, Georgina, Duchess of Devonshire, and this is, of course, based on a true story. There actually was a Georgina, Duchess of Devonshire, but yes.
Yes?
Yes.
All right, Cali. What does this film mean to you?
Kind of in the same way that your film, Last of the Mohicans, means. Like, it's just like a movie that, like, I wouldn't call it perfect, but anytime I'm, like, feeling down or just something where it's just, and I really, like, I'll have moments where I really cannot find something that I want to watch. Like, everything just sounds horrible to me. Yeah. Even if it's something that I love, it's like, no, and no, I know. And then I'll go to The Duchess and I'll always watch it. It's not the most happy film. It's not the type of film you would watch to really cheer yourself up. But I don't know, just something about it just makes me, I'll watch it and I can even like replay it too. Yeah. And just be in my little hole.
Fabulous.
If you will. But it really does, I love that it shows, because it's not a love story. It's a story about a woman surviving during the time of, what is this about? It was like 1774 or something?
I think
when it began.
Failed to see the year.
I think it was
definitely Victorian.
Yeah. England, and just how women's role back in the day, they were nothing. They were property, pretty much. Yeah. Their only obligation was to...
Like your dogs.
Yes. The same as your dogs. But it shows...
Forget yourself, G.
And there are some like accidental subtle funny moments in this.
Oh, well, those are the best.
And those are the best.
Those are the
exactly.
best.
I think Keira Knightley did such a good job for this role, and it just shows the strength of a woman who legit is, she tries to have a good life, but this isn't the type of show. This isn't the type of movie where it's going to be happily ever after and all that stuff. It's like she knows her duties. She knows what she does, what she can't, what she could to survive.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't know. I enjoy it, but you've never seen it.
No, this is the first.
Yeah, and I am pretty excited to hear your things that you found, like your thoughts and whatnot, and things to contemplate.
So let us dive in.
Let us begin.
Just begin.
Let's begin.
All right.
Okay, so the film opens up with Georgina. She is hosting a race with some of her gal pals, and they're not using horses, they're using young men to be the horses, and they're taking names from a hat, and Georgina, that's who Keira Knightley is playing, gets Charles Gray, and you can see that there's a little bit of flirtation going on there. He's a young man. They're both young people, and they're attracted to each other. And it's really, it's just a bunch of dudes just racing each other. And there's a wager going on.
Yes.
Yes, they're betting. And while the race is going on, you see Ralph Fiennes' character, or Ray Fiennes. I know were we talking about this? How to say Ray Fiennes?
I'm pretty fucking positive it's Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes, Ralph Fiennes, I don't know. But because it's spelled Ralph.
Right. But I think that the L is silent.
Ralph Fiennes?
Ray Fiennes.
Raw finds. Look at these raw finds I got.
Look at these raw finds.
These raw finds.
Raw finds.
Raw and rare. But he's watching Georgina, and it's really, you see his character and his stature. He's dressed very well. A little on the older side.
Yes.
And he is with his lawyers and Georgina's parents. And Georgina's mom, Lady Spencer.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, finds his character, his name is William Cavendish, Duke of Devonshire. The mother is trying to do her best to really share all of Georgina's accomplishments, and she's good at dancing, she can speak different languages, pretty much just she's selling her daughter pretty much. And the Duke is just kind of I don't fucking care. Yeah. She's
as long as she gives me an heir.
Yeah. I mean, he's like...
It's not even the Duke doing the talking at this point. It's Heaton. It's his fucking lawyer.
It's his lawyer, yeah.
He's straight up just the Duke has an obligation to have an heir. And that is what has been... And that's what's interesting, is because you do see Rafe has this, or the Duke, he makes this face that's kind of just what the fuck? I just live for a minute. That's enough, Heaton. Thank you.
Yeah, but also
Go, Grace.
I think because he also says to Lady Spencer, I know all of this, and she's a credit to you, and you should be proud of your daughter, kind of thing. So he has that moment of trying to pretend to be human in some way, because I mean I know Lady Spencer is first. My God, dude, those shakes are super long. I don't know. That's how I saw it. I don't know.
So you saw a pretend with him?
I don't know about pretend, but it was his way of trying to not make it he was all about the business, but I think his lawyer was being a little more harsh. We don't fucking care what your daughter does. Can she bear a son?
Yeah, I agree there. I think that the lawyer was, more really about, being business.
Yeah, but yes. Hi, Bob Executive. Which way is business? And that's really all that the Duke needs to be successful. I mean, I guess that's every male, I guess. It's I must have an heir to carry on the Duke.
The line.
Yes, the bloodline.
And of course, this was in the day of fucking, not even just class, but this is royalty.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah, I don't really know too much about what a Duke really does. But apparently throughout the film he has the most pull to do things.
I can't remember. I remember, like, looking at this thing that used to say what all of the titles was, like, Duke, Baron, and all that shit of the lands. But I think it's I guess nowadays, I don't want to sound like an ignorant fuck, but I'm going to sound like an ignorant fuck.
Okay.
But I think that if you kind of want to compare it to possibly like a governor, if you will, nowadays kind of thing. I mean, I think they did have governors back then as well. But I think that's essentially, he like ran every fucking thing.
Or he also is he's the money.
Yeah.
Like,
but then again, I don't know, because I know, England still does. They still have the fucking, like the Queen, and they still do all that. And at the end of the day, the Prime Minister still has to go and, talk to the Queen and be all like, this is what we're doing today. Like, this is it. It's like, man. Yeah. My lord.
Yeah. But, so that's what's going to happen. Georgina is going to marry the Duke, and when she has a son, she gets, like, an extra mound of cash. Like, there's
they're going to pay her.
A penis bonus, if you will. I don't know. If it's a son, you get a bonus.
Wow.
That's pretty much what's in the contract. And we get back to Georgina. Her horse, Charles Grey, won. And Charles Grey, like, goes up to her and like, oh, and my reward. Yeah. And Georgina's like, well, what do you want?
Right.
But then this happens a lot throughout the film. Charles Grey and Georgina tend to get interrupted a lot when they have a moment. I don't want to say, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be alone, but when they have a moment together. Yeah. It's always interrupted by some fuck. Yeah. But Lady Spencer calls to Georgina, and of course Georgina thinks she's in trouble because she's a kid. Right. She's like 17. She's supposed to be like 16, 17 in this. And the mom tells Georgina about the marriage. Georgina only met the Duke twice. Yeah. And Georgina's like, what? He wants to marry me? Like, I've only met him twice. Does he love me? And of course the mom's like, oh, of course. My God, like, what does she say? Like, a man doesn't waste his time trying to figure out if he's in love, but he feels it right away.
Right, bullshit like that.
Some bullshit lie to pretty much groom her daughter. Yeah. To be, I mean, it doesn't matter if she's happy about it or not. It's going to happen.
Right. And of course, I think there was excitement there with Georgina because of the fact that I'm going to be the Duchess.
I'm going to be the fucking Duchess.
I'm going to be the Duchess. I'm going to have pretty much how I think she kind of ran everything, you know? Very popular, very, fucking the fashion. Yeah, fashionette.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about the fashion for sure.
Like, she was a somebody, man.
She was. It's almost like she was like if you think about it, like, like a socialite. Yeah. In a way, and she was almost like an influencer. She influenced a lot of fashion. She influenced, like, she was the life of the party. Yeah. She loved to gamble. That's something we'll talk about as well. But it pretty much cuts straight to the wedding. Right. She's getting married. Of course, it's all big and beautiful. And then the now Duchess of Devonshire is getting taken to her home, and like all these people are really excited, and she's like, what's going on? Why is everyone so excited? And he's like, oh, well, you'll get used to it. People are excited to see me and my new wife. Of course. Yeah, still get used to it. Yeah. But people, if you think about it, I guess, I mean, like, in our term of, like, a celebrity or something,
And you kind of said, like, the Duke is supposed to be, what, 25, 26?
Yes. I can't remember where it exactly is on my notes, but in the book, I don't know if I'm going to say it's probably in the book, but in real life, the Duchess was like 16, 17, and the Duke was 25. Yeah. Now, fines, they did not pretend to make him look like 25. Hollywood definitely added to the creep factor that he is much older. And I think in my notes, in real life, like Keira Knightley and Ray Fiennes are like 20-something. I don't say 20.
Oh, yeah, she's in our age. She's in our age range.
Yeah,
so.
she's She's a young one, but I'll find it in my notes. I know the age difference is very.
Because I think he was born in like 62 or something.
Yeah, he is. And the house is huge. It's probably like has enough rooms. They could actually have like a hotel business. Yeah. Because there are so many freaking rooms and not really that many people that live there except for like the servants and the cooks and the dressers and like they have hire for everything. Right. Pretty much. But the Duke has these dogs, and anytime the dogs are around, you'll really see more of like the Duke's personality in a good way.
You know, it's interesting, and I can't help but can
you identify with him?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
I identify.
I think, and I agree with you because, like, I mean, the Duke is not a people person.
No.
He is an animal person, and I can definitely agree with being like that. I mean, we see our dogs and we go fucking nuts. Right. You know, we're just like, oh my God. Right. And the Duke does the exact same thing. And, you know, I get it.
And that's why, and he even, like, it's like, you can really tell, like you said, he doesn't like people. He doesn't like being around them. I think it just stresses him out. Yeah. And it's just like, and he's not bad to his animals at all.
No, he treats them like...
More like human than any fucking human being.
More than, especially more than we'll come to see with his now wife.
Yeah.
But then comes the wedding night. I find the wedding night very interesting because, I mean, it's really, and it's like awkward at the same time, of course, but we really get to see how complicated dressing was back then. Yeah. Especially for women. And the Duke comes into the room and Georgina's getting undressed with her dressers. It's a two-gal operation here. Right. There's a lot going on. And he shoos the dressers away, and he begins to...
Just cuts that shit off.
He just cuts that shit off.
Give me the shears.
Yes. You may leave. And he's very good at it. He knows exactly what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He's definitely he definitely has undressed a few maidens in his day. Yeah. In his many, many years on the planet that it looks like. Right. And of course Georgina, she is freaking terrified because she's a virgin, has never, she's terrified. Right. But he does make a comment, I will never understand why women put so much effort into their clothes. And Georgina's like, it's our way of expressing ourselves. And he's just like, whatever do you mean? Like, what could you possibly want to, like, express yourself? And she's like, well... And she says it a couple times, and it's like, she makes these, like, little, I don't want to say, like, digs, but kind of digs, where it's like, okay, so you men can do whatever you want. Yeah. Pretty much. Like, I can't do shit. So the only thing that we have to express ourselves is through our clothing. Fashion. And Georgina very much likes to, she's an artist with fashion. She designs her own dresses, and they are made for her. They're very, very unique and inspires a lot of people to dress like her. And I love there's a shot.
I was going to say the same thing if I think you know what you're... Yeah.
Yes. It's when you see her naked back and you see the marks of her corset and all of the things. I find that so beautiful, but like... scary at the same time. Exactly. Of like, oh my God, like what these women had to go through just to impress. Right. Like it's of course it's torture. Yeah. It's torture, but like my mother would say, beauty is pain. Beauty is pain. Beauty is pain, darling.
I have to say that to my waistline every time I wear jeans now.
That's why I stopped wearing jeans. I know.
Beauty is pain.
Beauty is pain. Beauty is pain. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Suck it in, man.
Would you care to have a corset?
No? Would I wear a corset?
Would you wear a corset?
I probably would pull off like a girdle.
A girdle?
I probably would wear a girdle. I'd go in and, be like a Sergeant Murtaugh and just wear a girdle. Be wearing a bulletproof vest. It's a girdle.
Once Georgina is, for the most part, undressed, except for her little stockings or her little
Yeah, she left her fucking... Well, he left her fucking stockings and her shoes on.
It's
Business time.
It's business time.
Business time.
It's business time.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm trying to say that it's business time. Ooh.
When I'm just down to my socks. Business socks.
Turn into a sexy dance. Speaking of a sexy dance, he says to Georgina...
Go to the bed.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wow, way to step on my line. But yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
what
I'm sorry.
You're the man, so yeah, go for it. Will you go to the bed?
And that was her line.
That was her line, yeah.
Right there. I just did her line.
You nailed it. One take.
One shuffle of the...
One take Jarokk over here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, thankfully we don't see too much of the sex scene. It's just that one...
Well, she was a virgin.
She was very terrified.
First time.
You can see the freaking terror in her eyes. It's like
I
don't want to say terror. Terror is the wrong word.
Right.
She's very scared, but it's like also exciting because it's something.
Right. I saw that. Good on her for finding her, virginity again. Because
hey, maybe she was. All right,
maybe. Well, fuck. If she was okay. Well,
I definitely don't want to remember my first time. So good on her for.
Well, right. I mean, I don't even. I'm not talking the first time.
No, yeah.
I'm talking the first sensation. Of
being touched down there,
and just because it's like something like she had the look of pain, horror, interest, and desire. Like she captured all four looks.
Yeah.
In that fucking one moment with her face, and I was like, you get the quadruple take, and I did catch, and I was like, okay, wow, man, and that's what kind of made it like. She does like him because there wasn't the just right off the bat hate with him.
No.
Or
she doesn't know the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's learning. She's feeling him out. And
yeah.
Anywho, back to you.
But I agree though. I think you definitely expressed that a lot better than I could because that was very spot on. But we go to Georgina and she's, it's what people do. When they need advice, they go to her. You go to your parents, and she's kind of worried about her marriage. Right away. I don't know how long it doesn't. We don't get a time zone of
right
the wedding night to what's going on now. But it seems that she has yet to become pregnant because ultimately that's the goal. But she's trying to talk to her mom. I don't know. This is really weird. This marriage. It doesn't. It's not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And he never talks to her, and she's like, he isn't interested in anything except for his dogs. Mm-hmm. I wish that it would be nice if he could just talk to me, and then when we're together intimately, and mom's like, oh, don't bother. Don't worry about it. Don't really rack your brain around it, because really what sex is supposed to be is just getting pregnant, and once you bear him a son, he'll stop trying to have sex with you as often as he does now. It's just kind of take it lying down, just take it, get pregnant, and then he won't bug you that much anymore. Yeah. But she's like, I really thought, you can tell, we get to see the dad, but he doesn't talk. But
her dad?
Her dad.
I didn't even know she had him.
I assumed that in the first scene that the Lady Spencer was sitting next to someone. Yeah. I assumed was the father, unless the father is not around.
I'd have to say that one because there would be no if the father was in the picture, he would be doing the talking.
Oh my god!
There would be
none
of this momness happening. He would not be talking to her.
Oh my god, you're so right.
So I can only think that
because Lady Spencer, she's running the house. She's running everything. Yeah, that makes sense. Because she's like, I kind of wish that he would be like Papa, where he was a little more warm.
Yeah. But apparently her father was a very nice and open man.
Nice, open man.
And obviously Mom was the fucking hatchet.
Yeah. The hatchet. Yeah, Lady Spencer really only sees marriage as a contract.
Right.
And Georgina was expecting something a little more, which, God forbid.
Yeah.
She wants something.
And I'm sure that money for having a son is going to Mom and not Georgina. It's not going to Georgina. It's going to the fucking estate.
I guess, but in the scene
What's Georgina gonna do with that? Well, yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
There is that scene where she's given a check and she can spend it as she wishes.
Right.
So I think the bonus probably goes
maybe
to Georgina, but I don't know how what would they call? I mean, a dowry.
Right.
Normally, the dowry would be couple of chickens and a goat kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that, and I think the mom also cares a lot about status. I mean, her daughter is the Duchess of Devonshire. Of course, she's gonna, the mom is gonna be higher in ranks now in some way, or respected in some way. I mean, she's as much as a woman.
She's McDowell.
She's McDowell.
From Coming to America.
Oh, God.
McDowell.
A prince.
A prince. He got his own money, girl.
I mean, he has his own money. The Duke is throwing a party for the Whig Party.
Yeah.
Mr. Fox has this political speech going. It's all a bunch of dudes, and Georgina's the only female there, and it's a lot of people. And the Duke is just not having it. He's so bored. He's rolling his eyes. He's trying to not look at anybody in the eye, and Georgina's just kind of the fuck.
Yeah, what are you doing? These are your guests.
Yeah, these are your guests. You are the party's highest supporter financially,
right.
I believe. And I love Georgina again. She talks to Mr. Fox about his speech, and she's oh, excuse me, I'm a woman, so I really don't know much about politics, but what is it you really mean when you talk about freedom? You're either free or you're not. Why are you dancing around the idea of freedom? And he pretty much just says, freedom in moderation.
Right.
And it's that's not gonna work. George, I just I mean, if I was able to
if
vote,
if
I had the vote,
right.
I wish I don't, but I don't know if I would vote for someone that really, I mean, freedom, it's a pretty standard definition of what freedom is. You can't just add little
right.
things to it, so it actually isn't freedom.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a word.
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
I do like those two, though. I loved the Duchess and Fox.
They're
together.
Their rapport is really great because I think Mr. Fox respects her.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Really enjoys her.
Yeah.
And she does enjoy Mr. Fox as well. There's a really fun friendship that evolves, and especially because another dude stands up to say a speech, and the fucking Duke just bolts. He's I'm not fucking having this.
Right.
And Georgina went to William, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I've finished my meal, and I've grown quite tired." He's such he's just a guy.
Yeah.
With no depth to him. He's probably the most boring man on the planet. He finished eating. He's tired, so he's just gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Even though he's hosting a party.
Mm-hmm.
He's no interest in hosting a party. And he's going to freaking leave Georgina with a bunch of guys.
Right.
Kind of thing. I mean, it's fine. I don't think they're going to run a train on her or anything. But
no.
Still, it's quite rude.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And that's just showing his status. He's so fucking... He's so fucking Christian Grey to me. In some aspects. I can't help but think that Christian Grey was a fucking, oh, let's make him like the Duke of Devonshire.
Hey!
Let's give him that fucking just, I don't give a shit, I got all this money, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can fuck whatever I want.
Yeah.
Let me,
yes.
let's
and
just do that.
Speaking of which, the Duke was talking to a female that works at the house, and she already kind of knows in a way, a little bit. She knows something is up. Because she even says, "Oh, you're going to bed. Should I come with you?" And he's like, "No, why ever shall you?"
Yeah, why should you?
Yeah. Why ever should you?
Shall you? I don't care.
Should you, shall you, way you, were you, whatever. Salutations. Gesundheit.
Yes.
So Georgina goes back to the table, and Mr. Fox just like, oh, I'm sorry, did my speech like turn the Duke off? And he's like, and Georgina's like, no, he thought it was a marvel, and he hopes that the speech is even longer, because the Duke kind of says like, I hate these political things, I hate these speeches, I find them so rhetoric or something. And she's like, but you support these people. Like, yeah, but I don't support their rhetoric.
No.
Or something.
Yeah.
And I think that's when, after Georgina was like, I think the next speech should be even longer. Yeah. And they give eyes to each other, like Mr. Fox. And it's like, oh, this is going to be a great friendship.
Yeah. Okay.
Girl. Okay, so after the party, Georgina is probably going to her chambers, and she notices a naked woman leaving the Duke's room.
Yes.
And she confronts him. You can definitely tell he just nailed her. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, what's going on? Like, I'm really confused right now. Like, why are you having sex with a woman that's not your wife? And he completely just blocks what she says.
Yeah.
Or block, like when you block an attack or something. I don't know.
He parries.
He parries, and he's like, come here. Is this dress your design? And you look so beautiful. And she's like, yes, thank you. And you should allow your husband to enjoy it even further. So he's gonna ravish her next. Like, Jesus Christ. And the poor girl, she's like, okay, she has to, she's gotta do it because she's married.
Right.
And,
it's her duty.
It's her duty, and she doesn't want to upset the guy or something. But yeah, she really doesn't get much word in. It was just, okay. I don't know, maybe she thought it was a one-time thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
The next scene, Georgina and William are eating, and I love this is the mutton scene.
Yeah, the mutton.
He's like, I don't really know what mutton is. I've never tried it. I don't know what it is, but
I could be wrong. I think it's like lamb.
Lamb.
I think. I don't know.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
You're gonna Google it.
I'm gonna.
But
look it up.
the Duke. He's complaining about, like, he even asks, like, Georgina, is there something wrong with this mutton? There's something wrong with it. And Georgina's like, it's fine, dude. Like, chillax.
Right.
It doesn't taste like normal mutton. But then someone comes, you can hear someone coming, and Georgina's like, oh, are we expecting company? He doesn't say anything. And this little girl comes in with this, an older woman. And the Duke is like, oh, Georgina, this is Charlotte. She's going to be living with us.
Right.
And Georgina's like, why? Did you father this child?
Yeah.
Are you expecting me to look after her? And then the Duke puts, like, the guilt on her. Like, okay, Jesus Christ, her mother died.
Right.
She has nowhere to go.
We've got hundreds of rooms here.
Yeah. And she will probably be some use to you, so you can practice your mothering skills. And you get a little shot after that Georgina is pregnant. So they finally have child cooking. But Georgina, again, she's upset, but she keeps her mouth shut. But she goes over to the child, and she says, hello, Charlotte, I'm Georgina.
Yeah.
So...
Was this when Charlotte was in her bed crying after her mom died? Yeah, that was sweet.
The governess or whatever was, like, wiping her tears. Yeah. And Georgina, olive branch, like, hey.
Right.
I'm Georgina.
Well, because her fucking father... I mean, it's the only thing that you can take away from the Duke is that he acknowledges the fact that he fucks around and he had a bastard and he had a child.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he acknowledges it. He takes her in. Yeah. Now, does he go and fucking probably, like, talk with her and do all this shit? No. Most likely not. But...
He doesn't see any use to talking to women, but also, like, not to people.
Right, but not to anybody in general. Right. Yeah. But, so you kind of gotta, like, look at it, because most fucking guys wouldn't even give two shits about taking in their children, let alone a female in that time, if you will. You know? So it's like, you gotta... You that's just what's kind of... I find him such an interesting character. Mm-hmm. Because, for me, he's growing into himself in a way throughout this whole film. Just as she is. Yeah. He's trying to deal with... Like, where she's trying to deal with the fact of what it's like to be a woman growing up in that era. He's trying to figure out what it's like to be a man growing up. Like, and of course all of us with our experience from our parents and their parents and so on and so on. we just look back, and of course, all of us always say, well, back in our parents' time, that's how they were raised.
Yes.
This is how it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, that's most likely how his ass were raised. Maybe that's why he's such an awkward fucking person when it comes to people.
It could be, because he was born to do his duties, and the one duty that he has really no control over is to bear a son, and that is the number one most important thing for him as a man, to keep his bloodline going strong. Mm-hmm. So that might be a little frustrating to him, because he can't control that. Yeah. But for some reason there is that I don't know what, I know he doesn't know anything about reproduction and all that, but it's not up to the woman to get the gender cooking in there. Right. Like, it just happens, But a little later on, we see a very, very pregnant Georgina, and she's supposedly a couple more weeks left to go. They're hosting like a gambling night, and everyone's having a really good time. And then all of a sudden, Georgina just starts.
Yeah. Are those labor pains? My wife is having my new heir.
Come on, keep it going.
I can't remember the words. To the next Duke of Devonshire the Sixth. Here, to the Duke.
That's what's so funny about this scene, and dark at the same time. Like, this poor woman is going into labor in public. Yeah. With, all of high society there, and in a lot of pain. The women are helping, and everyone else is... What I really tried to do this time, when we watched it before recording, is looking at the... Kind of like what you did for Last of the Mohicans, is reading the extras' faces. Yeah. Because that speaks volumes to what they must think. Because everyone's kind of, like, awkward, and like, wait, why isn't the Duke going to help his wife? Right. But you can't question the Duke, so okay, I guess, yeah, sure, let's cheers while this poor woman is screaming in pain. Right. So it was funny and fucked up at the same time. What can I say? Georgina gives birth to a girl, and the Duke is not happy.
Yeah, he's pissed.
He is pissed. The mom comes in and, hello, Duke. The Duke is, of course, playing with his dogs, and she's like, does your daughter not know how to bear me an heir? And then the Lady Spencer's like, well, I mean, as long as
the woman is healthy.
The woman is healthy, and in our family. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, your family. Spare me the speeches of what your family can do, because it's not happening. Right. And the mom goes to see Georgina, and it's nice to see that little mothering side, not like mothering side, but like a moment of like, yes, the Duke is upset. He received me, but as long as, and she's healthy. Like, how are you? And how is the baby? Is the baby in good health? That's all that matters. Yeah. This is just the first time.
That's what the mom said?
I think the mom said to the Duke kind of like, oh, it's merely just a prototype of what's to come kind of thing. So don't worry, you'll get your son. Sometimes it just... but it's true. It doesn't happen like that. You don't pick and choose, a gender. I mean, none of us do. And then we cut to 6 years later. Georgina now has 3 daughters. Charlotte being the child that's not hers.
Who hasn't aged a fucking day.
Yeah.
None of the kids have aged.
No, they don't.
But neither did really the parent. I mean, they put a belly on Rafe towards the end.
Yeah, they did.
But...
Yeah, no one really aged. Yeah. That's very, very true. They got Harrow and Little G. All 3 girls. Yeah. And I love that they're in a carriage together going, and Georgina's just kind of like looking at the kids and just kind of laughs. In a way, I feel like her and the Duke obviously have not bonded in the 6 years they've been married, but she kind of takes a little pleasure in frustrating the Duke that she can't get pregnant with a boy. Yeah. So it's funny. Like, you can tell even throughout the film, like, little things that she does to kind of poke fun at the Duke. And they're going to this place called Bath. And it's like a holiday resort where people go to get cured of things it has to do with drinking some weird tonics and taking baths. So whatever their spa, like a spa thing, I guess. And Georgina this is where she's really become like a fashion icon, and people come to see her, and they want to know what she's going to wear next. And she gets an entrance, and there's all these people that are like, oh my god, what is she wearing? And she comes out in this great outfit, and these huge, like, fucking feathers, and she makes, like, a fun speech. God, what does she say? Like, we go to Bath to get away from all of London, and then we see that all of London is at Bath.
Yeah.
Like, she's very witty, and people just freaking adore her.
Right.
And I've wondered what type of bird is on the top of my head. There's only two kinds of bird. One happens to be on my head, and the other is of whatever other party they're...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of making a little political humor and whatnot. And there's, like, dinner and dancing going on, and Georgina sees William talking sweet to a woman. Let's see, Haley
Atwell.
Haley Atwell, yes. And she kind of, like, turns him down, and it makes Georgina laugh. So, of course, what is she going to do? She's going to go up and talk to this woman.
Yeah.
Like, who turned down my husband?
Right.
And her name is Lady Foster. She goes by Bess. And they hit it off really well. Georgina's like, oh, what brings you to Bath? I can't say Bath. This is weird. You have to say Bath.
Yeah.
And Bess is like, well, my Mr. Foster is with his, the fuck is it called? His
mistress.
Yes, his mistress in some other country. So I'm here for a bit of distraction. And what about you? And apparently the Duke has gout.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
Very common in a man.
I guess, yeah. But Juni's like, yeah, and I'm here for my health. And Bess is like, I thought you're here because you can't bear a son. Oh, shit.
Goodness, how dare me.
I always say the wrong thing. Sometimes the words just come out of my mouth. And Georgina's like, well, I mean, it's the truth. I mean,
You're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So they kind of, everyone knows everybody's business.
Right.
People, and it's funny in this film, like, people, like, are pretending that they are minding their own business because they don't really talk about it, but there are whispers.
Right.
Whispers and rumors and gossip and whatnot.
London is a giant sewing circle.
Yes. That's a funny way of putting it. So they kind of become, like, close friends, and Georgina sees her, Bess sees Georgina out with her daughters. They're running around, having fun. One of them falls, and I love Bess is like, up and down they go, and because they're so young, and
right.
when we fall, it's over.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, you're not that old.
Right.
Relax.
But she said something that was so funny. Oh, how they can get up and get down. Mm-hmm. Well, now it's much further fall for us.
Yes, yes,
some shit like that.
Yes.
Well, now we have much further to fall.
Yes. and much higher to climb back up.
Right. Oh, God. It's funny.
So they're kind of getting to know each other a little more. Bess has 3 boys.
Okay.
And, of course, Georgina's like, God, the Duke would... What he would do to have at least one of those.
Right.
Oh, question. What was your first impression of Bess? When she first, like in this part, when we first meet her, we kind of are learning a little bit more about her, and they pretty much, Georgina and Bess spend most of their time together during Bath. What did you think of her?
Like
first impressions, not what you know of her throughout the film. I'm talking like right in this moment where we are.
With her talk, so right when we first meet her, or like where we are with...
Both. First impressions and where, like...
Okay, well, I thought that she was genuine. I thought that her kind of playing that I don't give a shit about the Duke kind of thing and really talking to Georgina, I think that she was very genuine and she really did develop a friendship. So, I mean, I didn't think ill of her...
Okay.
In any sense. I didn't think, honestly, even later on, I didn't think any ill.
Okay.
Because she pretty much justifies her.
She does, yeah.
You know, and we very right, probably the next thing on your notes is going to tell us about her and her husband's relationship, I'm sure.
Yes.
So it's like...
It really is my next note.
Yeah.
Because we find out that Bess gets badly beaten by her husband, and she even says... Because Georgina sees she has this, like, horrible mark on the back of her neck. And Bess is like, it's not illegal for a husband to hit his wife with a stick as long as it's not thicker than his thumb.
Right.
Oh my God, that's dark.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. The husband, she doesn't want to be married to her husband anymore, so he straight up took the children.
Yeah.
And she's about at her wit's end. She doesn't know what to do. And Georgina's like, if there's anything I could do to help, like, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And she's also asking, like, where are you staying since you're not, at your home anymore? She's like, well, I'll just keep lodging until the money runs out. And Georgina's like, no, I got this. I got you. And Georgina, she definitely knows how to play her husband very well in certain things, because they're having dinner, Bess is there, and Georgina's just like, Bess doesn't get to go to England very often. She's supposed to be with her parents in back at the States, but not for a while, and she has no place to go. And William, oh, problem there, huh? Well, why don't she stay with us? So Georgina worked her husband to make it so he thought it was his idea.
Right.
So I think if Georgina would have said, hey, can Bess come stay with us, he probably would have said no.
Right.
Which, I don't know. But I like the way Georgina...
I had a great idea.
Yes.
She's staying with us.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
What a wonderful idea you had. Oh, you're so smart. You're my husband. You must be smart.
Yeah.
And Bess shows Bess the tour, and she's like, I'm so happy you're here. I have all these things planned for the season. I don't know what the season means, but she has a lot of fun events to help distract Bess from her situation. And one of them is a play. Appearing in a play. And it's funny because the story, it's about the Duke and the Duchess.
Oh, yeah.
Them arguing about not liking each other, and it's supposed to be a comedy and whatnot. And then we see that Charles Grey is there. I can't say Grey. It has to be Grey. Grey. He's Grey here. Charles Grey. And Charles Grey is Mr. Fox's protege. He wants to be in politics.
Yeah.
So Fox is kind of taking him under his wing and whatnot. And there's still some chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there.
Oh, yeah.
Still there. And funny thing, because they get to talk, Gray and Georgina, and she was asking, what did you think of the play? And she's like, it kind of made me sad. She's like, why? You're supposed to laugh, damn it.
Yeah, it's comedy.
It's comedy, but he's pretty much saying I know the story.
It's yours.
And it's really sad, and I'm sad for you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, well, all right. And we meet the playwright, and it's pretty much, she gives the playwright all of the information. So she's really, I mean, for a woman that doesn't have much pull, she's got some pull,
right?
In her own little way, which is, I mean, a way to express herself. She designs her own fashions; they get made for her. She obviously is interested in writing, and she pretty much feeds a story to the writer who she's good friends with, and he writes the play, and it gets performed.
Yeah.
So she's got pull in places. She's very, very smart at, I don't want to say cheating the system, but finding loopholes and ways to be a part of society in a good way. If that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm finding a hard time with my words today. I don't know what it is, but hopefully I'm making sense, guys, because
I'm finding it.
Okay. Georgina and Bess are having a sleepover.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, I talked to Mr. Gray all evening. He's in love with you.
Yeah.
Of course, Georgina's like, okay, I know many things, but I know that is not correct.
I know we're coming into this.
Okay.
But backing up, I did think that there was a connection between the two.
Between who?
Bess and the Duchess. When back to my first impression.
Oh, a connection
they were going to be lovers.
Oh, really?
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Because they were both kind of they were being friendly and shit, but there was kind of flirtation, I think.
Oh, for sure.
In a way.
I can see that. I mean, she's young. She's very curious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the time.
Right.
Express yourself. Explore yourself.
Exactly.
And Bess is there to actually help her because Bess is like, no, he loves you. You need to jump on that. I don't want to say because there are parts of her character that on the outside, if you're looking at it from an outside and not really looking really deep into her psyche, a lot of it's very fishy.
It is.
Like, it's very suspect. We think, why is she pushing Gray on Georgina? You know, why is she being so nice to Georgina, kind of thing? Like, there's the train.
There it is.
Cue the train. So it's I don't know how, if it was like part of the writing or the performance, but like, it's very easy to think that Bess has ill intent, but I don't think she does, and it seems like you agree on that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think she has ill intent at all, honestly. I think she is playing her cards in favor of herself, which, you know, It's safe to say that she knows, and everybody knows, because she even says it to Charles before this, I think.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
What did she say? She says, everybody knows about... something about the Duke is the only husband who doesn't love his wife, or some shit.
Something like
it's
that. It's like, oh, well, you know what they say. The only person in London that doesn't love Georgina's his wife, or something. That doesn't love
their wife.
Who doesn't love the Duchess, like the Duke, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's something to do with, like, the only man who doesn't love his wife. Some shit like that, I think. I can't remember.
Or he's the only one that doesn't love the Duchess.
True.
Kind of thing.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
Is the only one who, I know the quote, I wish I wrote that quote down.
She says something like that around that ballpark, and, you know, and it's true. It's like, and then, he does.
The Duke is the only one that doesn't see something special.
Right, and Georgina.
Yeah, how special Georgina really is. Mm-hmm. And Bess is trying to say, like, hey, sex is not just about reproducing. There's pleasure. And she's like, yeah, I know. And she's like, no, you don't, girl. No, you don't. And she tries to show her, like, close your eyes and imagine that Gray is with you. Gray. Kissing your neck and unbuttoning your blouse. And of course she's like, oh, men don't do such things. They don't. They just don't. It's just, I don't know. And she tries to, like, simulate her being Gray. And actually, like, touches her and stimulates her. And she's like, what? Yeah. Like, it was a look. Gosh, she's so good at these, like, little reactions to things where it's like, oh my God, this feels great. Mm. Why doesn't the Duke do this shit?
Right.
Of course, because he doesn't care. He probably doesn't even know where the clit is, or that one exists.
He probably doesn't. Yeah.
No. So we get, like, a lot of, like, little interactions between. They just, like, tend to cross paths, and she kind of helps him out with some type of political thing, and they have a moment alone, and she's kind of like, hey, do you ever think of me when we're not together? And he's like, what? I mean, yes. Yeah, you must know that I do. And she's all like, oh, you paused.
Yeah, you took too long to answer.
You hesitated. And he's just like, no, I did not expect to be.
I
was in shock.
That you even said that.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, no, listen, I think of you all the time. Yeah. And then they get interrupted again. God damn it. And when Georgina gets back to the house after helping out Gray, we hear some noises coming out of Lady Bess's room, and it's William.
Yep.
They sound like they're really having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of noises. I bet Bess is probably really good at what she
does.
She's putting on
the Ritz, if you will.
She's putting on the Ritz, yes.
Yep.
And some of the servants were listening in, and it was just,
yeah. We had not the friendship betrayal.
Yes, the betrayal. Georgina waits for William in the room, and she's like, she's more devastated that it was Bess. Because she even said, like, I have never said anything about your affairs. Like, nothing. Mm-hmm. But I only have one thing in this life that is just mine, and that was Bess. And you took it away from me. Mm-hmm. And his reaction was very hard to read. I don't know what you got from it, because I don't, like, what do you think he was feeling about the whole thing?
I think he knew that it hurt her. I think he knew that it was going to hurt her. But looking at his perspective, here's a woman with 3 sons, if there's a way that I can get her pregnant, then I'll have an heir. This is me, like, thinking about it in that aspect for him getting with Bess. But the aftermath, I think that she really did, like, get into his veins a little bit. I think she really did get him.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well. I know that he can't have children with her.
Right.
Because, I mean, he could, but it won't be an heir because he's not married. It would
be a bastard, yeah.
It would be a bastard.
So,
but
yeah.
I think she really did. Just like she was able to kind of seduce Georgina, she's got those female powers.
Yeah.
She worked him. She worked him, yeah. And he's obviously hooked, and he's not going to give that away because she can obviously do things to him sexually that probably he's been searching for a very long time. Like someone who can really please him, not just be a hole to just go into. And William, and the way that he justifies having affairs and having any affair is that he's fulfilled his duties as a husband.
Oh yeah.
And
she hasn't.
And she has not. So I think he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants regardless whether he has a son or not.
It's a fucking dude,
But he just throws that in her face like, well, I did my part. Where's your part? So fuck you. I'm going to do what I want. So, I'm keeping...
Did we say that she had 2 stillborns?
Oh, no, we didn't. We did not say that. I'm so sorry. Thank you for that. Yes, so Georgina has been pregnant more than twice. She has given birth to sons, but they were both stillborns. Yeah. So something about her makeup or something going on, having boys is more difficult.
Yeah.
So, yes, there is that. Thank you. And Georgina wants Bess gone immediately. And William's like, I am not giving that away.
Yeah, no, she's not going anywhere.
Yeah, she's not going anywhere. And she asks her mom for help, and her mom, like, blames her. Like, how could you let this happen? She's living in the house.
Yeah. I would have never allowed that woman in.
Yes, I didn't trust her from the start. Like, yes, you made that very clear. Shut up, bitch.
Gave your daughter away.
Yeah. And the mom is like, well, you need to write to the Duke and be like, hey, either get her out or else. But Georgina's like, he says it's out of the question. The mom's like, all right, well, just go back to the house and deal with it. Fulfill your duties, give him a son, and hopefully he will grow tired of her.
Right.
That's her solution. Jesus Christ. But she does. She goes back to the house, and Bess tries to talk to G and tries to explain her situation. William has power to get her boys back and is willing to do anything to get those boys. Mm-hmm. And Bess hope that G, being a mother, would understand, but G is not having it. She's like, there are limits, and Bess is like, no, there's not. And I love her delivery, Bess, for that. It's like, no, there is no limit to what I will do to get my children back. Yeah. So this is happening. I am so sorry. I love you, but I am getting my boys back. Right. And it happens. Yeah. The boys actually get back.
I love how she runs out of the house and just runs into them, and they all just running to her.
Oh my God.
Such a cute moment.
Such a cute moment. And William gives the boys way more attention than he's ever given the daughters. You don't even see him. I bet he never, you even said, he doesn't interact. No. Yeah, he doesn't have time to do with daughters, but he's showing these boys how to hold a gun, how it works. And I loved G. I'm saying G because that's what they call her, G. I don't know, just throwing that out there, but I forgot we had wine. The moment, because Georgina is watching William with the boys, and that look of shock of oh my God, he is treating those boys like humans and actually being a father, and Bess is there watching, all loving, and
they're holding hands,
thank you. And it's like Georgina truly, she's alone.
Yeah.
She feels all alone. Oh, there's some cork in there. God damn it. Fine. We're eating Coke, I guess.
It's absolutely fine.
It's fiber. It's good for you.
It is.
But G has a secret meeting with Gray. Not a meeting, but they have a meetup. And she's having a hard time opening up to him because she doesn't really know how. She doesn't know really how to express her emotions because Gray eventually says, why do you always feel like you need to please people? And she's like, I was brought up that way. It's hard to unlearn that. Right. She fears, and he begs her, please tell me what's wrong. Please talk to me. What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want? Yeah. And it's so sad. She said that she fears that she's done some things too early and some too late. He disagrees, and he kisses her, and then they passionately kiss. They don't really, that's all that they get, as far as we know, but I'm sure it was just a kiss.
Yeah.
But during breakfast, Georgina tries to come up with a compromise with her situation, with her husband and Bess, because Bess is going to be there. And she's not just there as some woman he's just going to keep in a bedroom and sleep with. Like, she is having dinner with them. She has breakfast. She is the mistress, where I guess back then at the time, like, the mistress is just there with the wife because he brings Bess everywhere.
I think because of the fact that he is a man of title and everything, he can get away with it.
Yes.
A lot more.
Yes.
Than what other men can.
And I agree with that. And Georgina said that I will offer my blessing. You guys can have whatever you guys are having. Like, she even asked, like, are you in love with Bess? And are you in love with my husband? And Bess, like, I never ask him for anything. I am here as long as he wants me to be.
Yeah.
I don't ask him for anything. What a dream for for William. Oh, really? And she says, okay, well, I'll offer my blessing. I'll be fine with it as long as you are happy with the fact that I have an infatuation with Charles Grey. William immediately puts the kibosh on that.
Yeah.
He's just like...
loses his shit.
He loses his shit. She's like... He's like, I don't make deals. I never have, and I never will.
Yeah. I could take that man outside and shoot him in the head and be done with it and put him on display as a spectacle.
Yes.
Whatever the fuck.
And what does he ask?
Are you here, whore?
Try it again.
Are you his whore?
Yes. There you go. Second time's a charm. And she's like, no, I'm not. But, like, I mean, I can't see why you would mind. You have Bess. You have 3 boys. And
Quiet, woman.
Thank you. He's like, I don't give a fuck about these boys because they're bastards. I can't do anything with them. Like, you think I fucking
Bess,
care?
Poor Bess.
Oh, poor Bess.
That.
Hearing her...
You think I can make those bastards my heir?
Yeah. And Georgina just runs off. God, it's like, damn, girl, why did you even say anything? But I understand why I understand why she did it. She thought it would be okay, but no one's gonna go for that.
No.
It would have been a lot better if she just did it all in secret.
Yep.
Yeah, she kind of fucked herself.
She did a little bit.
She fucked herself, and she runs off, and the fucking Duke runs after her, and he fucking rapes her.
Yeah.
And her screams, ugh, they're terrible.
Oh my god, that whole scene. It's like we don't see it, we literally hear it. But the thing that I found the hardest was literally like, oh my god, to like be the servants and to be the people that had to hear that.
We even get a shot of a servant listening. And
there were like the 2 guards or whatever they were. And
he is horrified. He is so distraught.
Yeah.
Because
there was should I go in?
Yeah, everybody loves her.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to see her in pain or hurt, but that's his employer. He's just got to stand there and listen to it. But his face says it all.
Says it all.
Oh my god! And poor
Margie,
little Charlotte comes in, and Margie. Where the fuck did you get Margie?
Margaret.
Who is she?
I don't know.
Is she your mistress?
Is she a whore?
God, you're on fire today.
Bless him. Bless him.
And good on Bess for taking her away. Like, you don't need to hear this.
Yeah.
And fucking Georgina's scream just gets louder and fucking louder. She's so mad.
Get away from me!
Don't touch me! It is how you treat your whore! God. And once William finishes, he's like, give me a son. Until then, stay here. You are not to go anywhere until I have a fucking son come out of your vagina. Mm-hmm. But next scene, Georgina's at a rally, and she is just looking visibly just broken at this point. She is a prisoner in her own house, a marriage that she is not happy with. She gets treated like
shit,
like absolute garbage, just like a baby machine.
Yeah.
And feels that nobody loves her. Mm-hmm. I mean, even though she has the love of people, it's really very exterior.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't have anybody to really go to bat for her.
Right.
She's all fucking alone. Like you would think, like, some people with, like, when you think of like celebrities and you see them in the limelight, oh my god, they must live this amazing life. They must be so fucking happy.
Yeah.
It is not. I mean, maybe for some people, but I mean, especially if you look at people that we love.
Look at the amount of suicides. And,
exactly.
You know, and celebrities. I mean, I hate to say it, Robin Williams.
Yeah,
like, was one of the perfect. You know,
perfect. The most loved entertainer on the planet, and
he was so fucking broken and depressed and
just felt lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like horrible.
It's fucking horrible. We love you guys.
We do.
Yes, we do. Like, honestly, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not gonna get too deep, but
no,
you are loved, everybody.
You are all loved.
You are all loved. We love you. And
so she's doing her dance. Or wait, no. What is she doing? She's just walking around and she's like drunk and.
Oh yeah, there's like the next scene. It's a party, and yeah, Georgina's wearing this huge hair, huge hat.
It's like a fucking rat nest.
Yeah, and she's actually she did her makeup very differently, where she powdered her face a little bit and has like a little more rosy. Like she kind of looks like
very French,
very like a female fop, if you will. And she is very, very intoxicated. She's dancing. And I love Mr. Fox. He's trying to, like, help her.
Agreed.
The Duke isn't doing shit. He's just standing there talking to whatever female with, someone with tits.
Yeah.
And Mr. Fox is like, oh, Georgina.
May I have this dance?
May I? Yeah, like, he looks like he was, like, about to say something like, girl, collect yourself. Because this is not going to do well. But he helps and is like, shall we dance? Let's do something to get you focused here. Focus. Look at me here. But that doesn't help. She just starts spinning and spinning, and she hits like a candelabra or whatever, and her fucking hair gets set on fire.
This gets caught on fire.
Fire! And she's just freaking out, and someone like kicks off her wig, and she's just like on the floor, just like freaking out. And William looks at one of the servants, and he says,
"Would please put out her grace's hair."
Yes, and then the guy dumps wine on it. It turns out Georgina's pregnant again, so there you go.
Yeah.
And this time it's a boy. And she does get her bonus, a check that's signed to her and says, this is for you, share, like, spend it as you please, kind of thing. And I love, she's in the room with William, and she's just like, success at last. All right, now what?
Right.
And he tries to, like, say something to G, like, G, I too abhor this situation. I don't like the situation that what's going on right now. It's disgusting to even me, but it was his way of probably maybe saying thank you. I don't know.
Was that after? I thought that was after baths.
No, this was during.
This was during
after the check with the son.
Oh, you're right. Okay,
yeah,
I think you're right. You're right.
Yeah, he finally has.
You're
right
because the lawyer was in there and gave her the check and
But
thank you, Heaton.
Yes, thank you, Heaton. You may go now. Don't talk.
Right.
Don't talk. But Georgina's out with her kids, and we see a rider coming in very, very fast. Mm-hmm. And it turns out it is Charles Gray. He said he wasn't invited. He thought it was a party thing, so of course. And Georgina's like, she has no idea what he's talking about, but she's just like, oh yeah, of course, yeah. I have a son.
Yeah.
Yes, William. We are very happy. He is celebrating with his mates in France or something.
With the son.
I know the son is there.
Oh, I thought he took the son with him.
No, there's a cradle outside with them.
Oh,
so he didn't even take his son.
I thought he took his fucking son.
He's celebrating on his own, probably with, I don't know, he's probably by himself.
Right.
Or he's with people that are, quote, his friends, but are just there to pretty much stroke his ego and whatnot.
Right.
I don't know.
His entourage.
Entourage, very good. And G is hosting. Yeah, William's gonna be gone for who knows how long, just celebrating the birth of his son. And she's kind of just like throwing her own like gambling party, and there's those making of eyes with Gray, and Georgina goes to bed, and Bess is like, no one must know.
Yeah.
Bess was the one that invited Charles Gray to the house.
Right.
But be discreet. Don't fuck around. Good night. Fuck around, but don't fuck around with the fucking around.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then Charles Gray and Georgina, they have their night of passion. What I like about this film as well is it does a really good job at not spoon feeding us everything. We kind of have to figure out some things on our own.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree or not, but there are times that I've gotten a little confused, or sometimes either felt like left out. Like, what's going on that something is happening that I'm not aware of. But it just took me watching it a little more to really be like, oh, okay.
Give me an example.
Like looking at, I really can't think of an answer for you. Like, things aren't really spoon-fed about like what's going on, because we don't get a lot of interaction with Georgina and Charles Grey. It's very, very little.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. It's true.
We get a very. I feel like if maybe why this film, I don't think it really did like super, super well, because it's not just a love story. Because we only get the Charles Grey and Georgina love affair very small.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very small.
Yeah. Because
this isn't a movie about love. This is a movie about Georgina's life.
Right.
So it gives us very little on certain details, and we kind of have to figure it out.
You just gave me an example. Perfect.
Did I?
Example.
Okay, good.
Because I agree completely. Because their time together and their love was not a lot. Mm-mm. Honestly, again, we already talked about this, I'm sure. The timeline is very confusing because we don't necessarily know what's going on. But I don't know if you're heading there or if I'm about to fucking jump you ahead. I don't know. I don't want to. But when she asks William to go to Bath.
Yes, that is next.
Okay. Yeah. She says, I want to go to Bath. I want to get away for a little bit. Like, how fucking long was she there? We don't know. But she was obviously there a very long time with Charles. And they obviously had their little Romeo and Juliet thing going.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's like, I was thinking about going to Bath for the Cure. Whatever that is. I don't know if it's the Cure.
Concert.
The Cure. The Cure.
They're playing at Bath.
They're playing at Bath.
For the season.
She's pretty much saying, I'm going to go without you. I know you're busy, Duke, but you guys can join me later. Oh, Best, you can look after our husband.
I fucking die every time I hear that. That shit was so funny.
But yeah, she goes and she's with Mr. Grey, and there's all these the Grey is reading all these gossip columns about Bath and what Georgina was wearing, where she was cited. So
political cartoons.
Political cartoons.
Yeah.
Fun. But at the same time, not good.
Right.
So we don't get to see how discreet they were, because we only see them in bed together and kind of having their cute little, oh, you're awful, you kind of thing.
And apparently they weren't discreet at all, because the fucking Duke shows up with Mommy Dearest.
With Mommy Dearest. Look at you. Why don't you give me the respect that I am entitled to? Because I am not one of your fans. God, I fucking love that movie. I should have that as an episode.
Tina!
Bring
me the axe!
Bring me the axe. No! She doesn't say now, but... Derailing.
All right. Back on track. So Mommy Dearest and all that.
Yeah, and I love William. He gets a little digging too. He's like, oh, I just thought I'd surprise you, G. You did say there was no surprises in our marriage, so here I am. Is Grey here?
She did say that, didn't she?
She did say that, yeah.
Yeah, is Grey here? Have you been with our social circle, have you?
A few, yes. Yeah. And she's naming, she's so scared. And rumors were circling about her and Mr. Grey. According to William, they weren't very discreet, and it would have been okay if they were. Bullshit. Do you think bullshit?
So here's where I'll say because I thought about this line. I thought about this line tonight, actually, when he says, if you would have been a little bit more discreet. If she wouldn't have said anything to him, it would have been fine because he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
But because now he knows his wife is making him a cuckold.
Yes.
If that gets out.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever. He can sleep around, do whatever. His reputation, he don't care.
Yeah.
He's a duke. He has the money. He's at this.
He can do whatever
he wants. But if his fucking wife makes him a cuckold, is not fucking loyal to him,
he's fucked.
Shed it. If the papers get word.
Shut it down.
So I think in a way that if you were a little bit more discreet, I think that was more or less to, you should have just fucking did it and shut your fucking mouth up and didn't tell me about it.
Yeah.
Because once you told me, you pretty much told everybody. So that's what I got out of that particular line when he said that.
Yeah. And then he starts to threaten Christian Grey.
Yeah. Christian Grey.
Did I say Christian Grey?
Look at you.
Charles Grey.
Christian
I'm sorry. I knew it was.
Blew up his helicopter.
I knew that was. I was going to say that at one point in this episode, so we got it out.
Yes.
Good. Almost an hour and 30. It took me a while, but it happened. But he's pretty much threatening, like, if you do not stop this affair, I will completely liquidate his assets. I will make it everything possible that his life goals and dreams do not happen.
Take away him wanting to be prime minister.
Yeah.
He's apparently like about to be.
Yeah, or he's
getting there.
He's getting there, yeah.
Like something about that.
And G doesn't want to give him up.
Right.
She's like, "No, we're in love. Like, how come? Like, you have Bess. Why can't I have anything?" And the Lady Spencer's like, he is unmarried. He has nothing to lose in this relationship. You are the only one that's going to lose some shit.
Yeah, she said he's unmarried. He doesn't have a title.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any of this shit. And I guess that's true. But at the same time, it's like, he is a lord, though. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, his father is a fucking decorated general.
Yes.
But again, this is now his life. He is a politician, and I'm sure nowadays.
Having an affair
with then I think, like, politicians, there really was no money in politics per se. I don't think,
not.
especially back then.
Yeah.
Because trying to look at our founding fathers, I can't say that any of them were necessarily rich. Most of them were farmers. So I mean,
and Georgina even says, like, why don't you just divorce me and marry Bess? She could be the Duchess of Devonshire. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. And Mom's like, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, not while I'm around kind of thing.
Right.
And,
but I do love, I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I'm just saying, William also threatens that Georgina will never see her children
Good,
again.
we're on the same page. I was just about to bring that up.
Were you?
So,
okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that threat. And Georgina's just like, she's in the moment. She's like, just go back.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back. I'm staying here.
And that again shows us the timeline that I think of how long she was fucking about with Gray.
Yeah.
Because when he says, I have letters from our children.
Yeah.
That fucking bitch was like
pretty thick for like 3 children to write.
It was fucking like boom.
Almost, yeah.
Letters galore.
Yeah, so maybe they did have the affair for quite some time to a point where it did get out. So it probably wasn't a very small affair, but that's just all that we got to see because that's not the point of the film.
Right.
And she says, like, I'm not coming back with you. Go back to England, wherever, because I don't really know where Bath is. They don't really say.
Yeah, I don't know.
And William's, he's
somewhere
like,
outside of London.
Somewhere outside of London, but he's like, okay, well, there it is. Here are some letters from our daughters. Our son did not get to write, but then again, he is not nearly 1 or something. Yeah. He's hardly 1 year old.
Right.
Yeah,
he neglected to write.
He neglected to write,
but then again, he's not 1 yet.
Yes, but again, yes, he is a baby.
Right.
And a baby without, like, really
needs a mother,
twisting the knife in a little.
He even says that shit. Like,
yeah.
Children need a mother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he says that again. But Georgina does read the letters and she switches. She runs.
I would love to point out this was the exact same run, the exact same fucking moment that Bess had with her fucking children.
Yes.
This is the exact same fucking moment. So that is exactly like where Georgina earlier in the film was all like, no, like your kid is nothing is better, more important.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
I'm glad you were able to see that.
Yeah, and Bess was just like, oh, no, bitch.
Yeah.
No. But, Georgina just had the exact same fucking moment.
Exactly.
In realization.
And she even says it to William because he goes up to her. He's like, I'm glad that you're back. Children should not be without their mother. And she even says, my life or theirs. Mm-hmm. Like, so she's choosing her children.
Yeah.
And the house is pretty much back to normal. Grey does storm the house and tries to...
Fucking the Duke's face.
Yes.
When you just hear fucking... Georgina!
Yeah.
Georgina! You know, and then fucking he's just...
Oh my god, daggers.
Yeah.
Daggers.
Staring at
and
her.
Georgina...
Excuse me, please.
No, yeah, she just gets up and she's like, excuse me. She goes and she's like, look, my feelings for you are not gonna change. They're not ever gonna change, but you really have to think about what you're asking me. I will never see my daughters again. And he's just like, I want to marry you. I want to have your children. Come on, let's.
I don't care if they're boys or girls.
Yes, he went there without a wig too. She's like, oh.
Yeah, unless it got like.
It could have
fell off by the fucking 6 guys holding his ass
up. Yeah, and she soldiers up and is just like, no, I cannot leave my children.
Yep.
So you are going to have to leave. I am sorry.
Infatuation must end.
Okay. Why are we always going back to Moulin Rouge?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I love it.
I don't know. But Georgina, she collects herself, goes back to the dinner table, and she's not really eating, and William's like, what? You don't like the pigeon? I find it particularly yummy or whatever. I don't know.
Desirable. I don't know.
Or something, yeah. And her answer is, I am carrying Charles Grey's child.
Damn.
Ooh. Ooh.
Please inform the Duchess of my...
Yes.
Of my deal.
Bess, yes, the terms. Yeah, Bess pretty much tells Georgina, you will live in the country throughout your pregnancy, you will give birth to this child, and the child will be given to Grey's family. Yeah. You are not to see the child or whatever, you're just going to be fucking bunkered in for like 9 or 10 months, however. Yeah. I don't know how long they wait after the birth for the, But Bess then says, she then decides, Bess, that she's going to go with Georgina. Yeah. And William's like, no, you will not. And she's like, she puts her foot down and she's like, there is nothing that you can do or say that's going to make me change my mind. And I wonder, do you think Bess somewhat feels responsible?
I think so.
About what happened? So there's a little bit of guilt in there.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that...
And it's the fact that she never, lost her friendship with... She truly does, and we already talked about this, we already hit this. Yeah. She truly does love, I believe... she really does love Georgina.
Absolutely.
And she really does. She did have a connection. She had a friendship with her.
Yeah.
So, yes, and this is going to be Georgina's one of the hardest fucking thing in her life is about to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Bess knows it.
Oh, yeah.
And Bess is like, I have to, no, she needs to have somebody with her.
She can't be alone during the months of stewing and growing a child that was a child that was actually made of love. Right. Made from love. And Georgina even says once they get to their little country house, she's like, thank you for being here. I'm so happy you're here. Yeah. And she gives birth to a girl. There's the exchange. I think she thought Charles Grey was going to be there, but General Grey, the Duke would not have it. And there was the exchange with the baby and General Grey. Her name is Eliza. Yeah. And then there's that fucking meltdown that she has when hearing her child cry. And Bess is holding her. Bess is saying something like, I have you. I got you. Yeah. Like, you're not going to fall. I have you.
Again, not a parent, but I just can't imagine.
Can you imagine that? Like, oh my God.
Just,
Like, how upset she was. And she returns, Georgina, and, her and the Duke have this moment. And it's a way, it's almost like, okay, this is how life is going to be. I can't do anything about it. Okay. Yeah. What else can I do at this point? Mm-hmm. And... Georgina must be strong for her children. Yeah. And absolutely. I think the Duke kind of respects her in a way of making that choice. Yeah. But, of course, he's getting what he wants to at the same time.
Well, here's the thing, and this is kind of what I brought up earlier, I think, if we're getting to the point to now where she's talking to the Duke.
Yeah, we're at the end.
Yeah, so you go ahead and say what you have to say about this first, and then I'll chime in. With this particular moment.
I totally forgot that I have front notes for the facts, but I'll do that at the end. I mean, pretty much all I have is at the end. Are you talking about their exchange?
Yeah.
Okay, then go with that because my next notes are just the end and the conclusion of the film.
All right, so I want to talk about how... So when I was talking about earlier his pretty much the evolution of the Duke, if you will. Like, seeing the man that he was, and you could tell this whole film, at least I saw this, there was a fight with him. Mm-hmm. This entire film. The Duke was literally... And I can't help but kind of like... once again, I can't help but...
You can't help but contemplate.
No, I don't remember what I was talking about. I just the evolution, my whole train of fucking thought.
the evolution of his character, or
right.
like his growth.
Yeah, essentially. So the evolution of his character, the evolution of his growth.
Does he evolve in some way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it does because he's this cold motherfucker in the beginning, but you can see that there's this fight within him. And we can give this to fucking Rafe. I don't know. But I thought he did a great fucking job of showing us this, like, struggle of, I hate how I am right now, but there's, like, these outbursts, and I don't know how to, pretty much relate. Uh-huh. Like, I can fucking relate to this a little bit. Okay. And I'm pretty fucking sure that any of our parents can relate to this, especially our parents who look back and say, I could have done better for, like, my child or my children and shit like that, and why was I like this? Why was I ever like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that it took him a very long road, but at this moment where he had about 7 months to himself without his mistress, without his wife, with just his children and his servants, he had these, and again, goes right back to what you were saying, we're not spoon-fed, we've got to fucking figure it out on our own. He just had all these moments with his children, so we think, and he finally is kind of telling her, he's like, and I think he has that realization of, I just made my wife give away one of her children where I just not fucking 9 months ago put her own children up for ransom, essentially.
Yeah.
And he pretty much says that. He's pretty much just like, I know that this has been hard and I have been cruel and da-da-da-da-da and all that shit that he says.
Yeah.
And then he was like, we're going to have a party or whatever and da-da-da. Yes. And then she was like, well, who all is going to be there? And he just looks at her and he gives like a little smile.
Yeah.
And he just goes, everybody.
Yeah.
And
I'm hoping you're saying that the way I'm thinking.
I believe I am.
Okay.
Because, yes, who was at that particular party? It was Charles Gray. And the Duke allowed it. He didn't say anything. He didn't fucking defy. He didn't do anything. If anything, he didn't even fucking bat it. He just looked. He saw Charles. He saw her. He saw them go up to each other. And he was like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
That was it.
He trusts that it's going to be done the way.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he has that line, which really sealed the deal for me on... Again, the struggles of growing up, of being adults, especially in that time.
Yeah.
When he sees the children playing, and I don't know if you have this quote verbatim, but he says something, he was like, to be that free.
Yes. To be a child and to be so free and not have the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to have all this bullshit.
Yeah.
To just be happy all the time running and playing.
I mean, if you think about it, even now, being an adult is fucking hard.
Right. And I think, again, that's why he really admires and loves his animals. He loves his dogs. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, in all seriousness, your fucking dogs, your cats, your whatever animals, we as human beings find, we get depressed, we get fucking emotional, we're constantly oh my God, A dog can have a fucking moment, go sleep, and not think anything of the day, and then be totally fucking happy.
That's the thing with
to see you again. You know what I mean?
Animals are always in the moment.
Right.
They're never overthinking, they're never worried about Like,
yeah,
unless, I mean, they're always, even if they're in like distress,
mm-hmm.
they're always in the moment, even like to survive. Let's say if there's like a stray dog, like they're in the moment to survive. Like Speaking of, I'm saying this as Opie's whining at us. Like, are you guys fucking done yet?
He's gotta go to the bathroom.
He's gotta go to the bathroom. Okay, we're wrapping up, honey. I promise. Yeah. But yes, I do. I'm gonna wrap up the film, do a couple backstage notes, and I want to say something to you about this film and the way you've been talking about it. I am very, very impressed, I will say. So the party is happening. Everyone knows why Georgina was gone. But everyone is being respectful because they love Georgina. They're not bothering her. But the fake reason why she was gone on holiday, they went to like Switzerland, they went to Bermuda or Bahamas, I don't know, they went somewhere.
Right.
They were vacationing. And Georgina's asking Gray, like, what's new with you? And he's like, well, I'm to be engaged.
Yeah.
Her name is blah, 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 so that's happening. And, of course, Georgina has that little moment of being upset, but, of course, she's soldiering up, and it's just like, oh, that's wonderful. And Gray says, and I have a niece, Eliza, who is very much loved.
Yeah.
You need, after some time, you should really go and meet her. You should go see her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I would like that very, very much. And then she leaves. She goes back to the Duke, and we get like a little like subtitles that Georgina, the Duke, and Bess continue to live together and be one big happy family in a way. But until Georgina got sick, she apparently became ill, and she gave Bess and the Duke her blessing to get married when she passes. Georgina still, like, throughout her life, we don't know how much longer she lived once we got to, like, from that point to the future, but she is still one of the most loved and cherished people in her society. And she did visit in secret her daughter Eliza frequently, and Eliza ended up naming her first daughter Georgina. And the movie ends with her, Bess, together with all of their children, all of the kids, just having a really good time. And that's the Duchess. And what's really interesting is before filming, the current Duchess of Devonshire invited Keira Knightley to her stately home to inspect artifacts that belonged to the real Georgina, which is really cool. And one of them was her debt book. Now, we see a lot of gambling, but Georgina actually was a gambling addict. Oh, yeah. She racked up a considerable amount of like debt, and Keira wanted that showcased in the film a little more, but it was never really. It ended up not being put to use. I'm not sure why. It could have just not happened. Oh, and the age range, the Duke was 25, and the real Duchess was 17. I was right. Keira and Fiennes are 23 years apart. That's a lot. Yeah. The writer, Amanda Foreman, was on set throughout filming for accuracy purposes. So that was really cool. Yeah. But yes, that's the Duchess. I will say, like, the way I kind of had a salty view of the Duke. Just because, I'm more for women kind of thing, But I love how you humanized the Duke. Yeah. And brought up what his struggle would be. Because it's crossed my mind, but I was so bitter and angry with him that I really didn't think to name the puppy, to humanize him. Yeah. And I'm really glad that you did.
He was very much a character because of course, I'm not he did horrible things.
Yes, yeah. I'm not saying that you're in favor of him, but...
No, absolutely. Yeah. But again, it's like, you really do, and you see the fact that it's like, and it's kind of there in fucking stone. It's like, what, and all you can ask yourself are these questions. Why is he so shut away from people? Why is he so reclusive? What exactly made him that way, And again, fucking hat off to Ray Fiennes for being such a great fucking performer. And you know, for everybody in this film.
Everybody.
My God, this, you know. But yeah, that's how I did. And honestly, I like, in some ways, I was like, God, dude, I put myself in his shoes a little bit. And just be like, man.
I think that's great that you did that, because I really didn't really think of it that much. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let's move back on to...
the handy-dandy Shakespearean notebook.
Notebook. Yes. Who was the rascally, howl-eyed bed presser? Who was untrustworthy, having sunken eyes like those of a cadaver, and heavy, lazy person? I mean, my pick was, at first, was in stone until you started talking about the Duke, so
yeah.
I don't really know.
I say her mom.
Yes.
I think Lady Spencer.
Absolutely.
I think Lady Spencer.
Absolutely. Indeed. Spot on.
Because
my God, look at you.
She is just so... She's so like... I know I look like a fucking brute, but God, I do have my moments.
I'm not saying...
With my wine glass.
I'm not saying...
No, I know.
I really didn't... I don't know. Not that I didn't expect you to be into the film. Like, I wasn't...
I didn't know if I would either.
I wasn't sure what you would think. But I know you like period stuff. So part of me... Because I think, like, not too many people that not that I talk to a lot of people anyway, but not too many people know about this film. I think it's just this hidden gem that just...
I didn't know about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then there you go.
Yeah. I didn't know a thing about this movie.
But what did you think, though? Did you... would you watch it without me? Did you really enjoy it?
I absolutely would, believe it or not.
Oh, my God.
I would. I did enjoy this film.
See, I could just watch it over and over again. I don't know why.
I did enjoy this film a lot. Yes, it's like... There's that border, like... if you will. I don't necessarily think this, but it's... Some guys, I feel like, would probably be like, oh, chick flick, but it's like, it's really not. It's a period. It's fucking Victorian.
Yeah.
It's
I think maybe...
It's history.
Maybe marketing. Maybe they probably, like, marketed the film as a chick flick love...
Very like the Boleyn girl or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
other Boleyn girl.
Right. Very in that aspect. Yeah. And it's like,
forbidden
okay.
love, and this is,
Yeah, not making it
It's all about emotions, but it's...
But again, that's the marketing, especially back then. The
marketing world, yeah. Oh my God,
it's like, okay, well, this is probably going to get more females, so let's grab the females a lot more than we're going to grab the men.
Yeah, so probably men were or not, I don't say all men, I mean, but people that aren't into the romantic films, like, oh, they're going to be dragged into this. Right. So then and whoever was being dragged was Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I loved it. I thought this was a great
Wonderful.
film. I thought this was a great film, and honestly, it really does kind of sadden me. You said that it didn't do that well.
I don't think it did. I really didn't do as much research on that end, but it's been on Amazon Prime forever.
Yeah.
Year. I think I've watched this for years. Even I remember watching it even while we were in LA. So it's been I've been watching it for a very long time, and it has never not been available on Amazon Prime. So to me, that's my light going. Okay, it didn't do well. People don't really.
Yeah.
Because sometimes Amazon Prime likes to, or any type of streaming likes to fuck with us and take things away and give it to us. And I got $1 for you.
Got $1 for you.
Kind of thing.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah. But what do you have for me now?
Okay, so this is just how it is, man. I'm just all over the place. This has been a hard week.
I know.
Again, new job, new everything. Weather's been shit. Hasn't been helping. So my thought was to go with, just something stupid, like a comedy or something. Okay. But at the same time, I don't know. This really, just having this amazing conversation with you tonight.
Yeah.
Really made me, kind of want to stay in this, period kind of moment.
Okay.
But at the same time, it was just So... I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to choose, and this particular movie is on Prime, and I love this movie. There's, just such a deep passion for me with this film. So I'm going to choose, and I don't think you've seen it, I'm pretty sure you haven't, you know what it is, because I watch it all the fucking time. I'm choosing Master and Commander, Far Side of the World,
Is that the ship?
It's the ship movie with Russell Crowe, and it's.
I've seen you watch it for many years, but I've never seen it.
This movie is just, it broke them all for me.
Really?
I love this movie. Now, okay. Well, we got to save my shit for the episode. Otherwise, I'm gonna get premature here. So, all right.
Okay.
That's what it's gonna be. Master and Commander: Far Side of the World.
All right.
That's next week.
Okay.
Well, hopefully next week.
Hopefully, yeah.
We'll see.
Hoping.
Weather dependent.
Yes. Weather forbid.
Yeah. But anywho. All right. Well, thank you, contemplators, for joining us once again. Sorry, we will get our episodes out as soon as possible. We'll get back on track here. But anywho, thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe. You can find us on almost all podcasting platforms.
Yes. Give us a review on Apple Podcast if you like. We like to know how we're doing and what y'all are thinking. I know I have been very much lacking in the social media realm, but I'll try to get better. But we are on social media. We're on the World Wide Web, as if you have not known, you haven't seen or heard. But on Twitter, we are movies_pod. On Instagram, we are movies.contemplation_pod. We have an email, movies.contemplation@gmail.com, and we are also on Facebook, Movies and Contemplation Podcast.
All right, contemplators, y'all heard it here. So next week, Master and Commander.
Master of the house.